Dragon riding is absolutely one of the most fun things that Blizzard has ever introduced in World of Warcraft, and I am so excited to see where they go with it. Hey everyone, Voodoo here. So, as you can see, I'm back on the alpha, and I'm sitting atop my dragon. This is probably one of the best features that Blizzard has ever made. It is so fun. Obviously, I'm talking about dragon riding. The ability to just kind of jump off of any structure, open your wings, and just kind of soar through the air is just so fun. I've just been doing it for hours, honestly. Every single aspect of it is fun. It feels so good. And today we're going to go over it. Do a little bit of an overview, give my thoughts on it, maybe give some options of how I think it can be improved a little bit, and just trying to give my thoughts. Before we get with that, just a quick reminder, if you like the content, please subscribe. Lots of my viewers aren't subscribed. And with all this alpha stuff coming out, I'm going to pump out so much good content, so hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and thank you. So, first things first, what is dragon riding? Well, in Dragonflight, we're going to the Dragon Isles, right? Which is where the different dragon flights, of World of Warcraft have kind of originated from and started from. So obviously there's going to be a lot of dragons. Now, because of these dragons, these zones are massive and open, and there's tons of different kind of height play to it, right? So there's different vantage points you can grab on, and there's just a lot of verticality to each zone. So Blizzard looked at that and thought, well, it'd be weird to not give them flying, because normally we don't get flying until at least a patch in. But they didn't want to do that normally, so instead they gave us this thing called dragon riding. And dragon riding is basically a minigame version of flying. Think of it like Guild Wars 2 if you've ever played that. And this minigame form of flying allows us to traverse these worlds, these different zones in Dragonflight, super easily, super quickly, and super fun. So, right away, we're going to hover over my dragon. So you can see at ground speed, normal, but flight speed can be increased by up to 950%. Now that's a lot. That is way more than normal flying amounts. Now, at the cost of that, obviously, there's a little bit of interplay here. You can't just AFK fly around. You can't just, just soar up to the top of a mountain as fast as possible, right? It's like, I don't want to say realistic flying because you're on the back of a dragon, but it's flying that does sort of make sense, right? You have momentum and all that stuff, and if you try and fly straight up, you're going to lose all your speed, stuff like that. But it's really cool. As a basic overview, you have this vigor bar, which it recharges while grounded, mounted, and we're going at high speeds. And you have these 3 points. These are like ability costs. They're vigor, right? And different skills you have spend different amounts of these points to do different things. So in the alpha right now, we're only allowed to be in one zone. This is the 3rd zone. And in this zone, you have 3 different flying skills. You have Surge Forward, which just shoots you forward. I'll show you. Like this. You have Skyward Ascent, which is a big flap up that gains you a lot of height. And then you have this last ability, Whirling Surge. Now, these 2 abilities only cost 1. Surge Forward and Skyward Ascent only cost 1 vigor. Whirling Surge costs 3, and it has a cooldown. So it's kind of a stronger ability if you think. So you get off, and you aim in a direction, push 3, and it just whirls you up in the sky, and immediately puts you at one of the highest speeds you can go. We'll just head on back to my little landing point. Now, obviously, you regain vigor while you're on the ground. And the other way to do it is by flying fast. So we'll jump off here. And I'll aim pitch down so I can get a lot of speed here. You can tell the different speed levels by how much wind is flowing around you. And also you can tell that you're gaining vigor when you see these little blue trails around the dragon here. And the other way you can tell is this buff up here, Thrill of the Skies. That regains your vigor. See, I just lost it, but I can pick up a little bit of speed again, and I gain more. I can use my spells, and a little more vigor. It's a really cool way of doing flying, and you can move incredibly fast. Like, look how much fast I'm zipping around on the minimap here. It is way faster than any form of travel we've really seen before. And I think it's good. These zones so far are massive. Obviously, we only are able to see this zone. This zone is huge. It's by far one of the biggest they've ever made. Anyway, so these zones are massive. They're so big. And this dragon riding really allows you to get around super fast. And they're built in mind with these dragons, right? There's tons of high places for you to jump off of. This is one of my favorite in the Azure span here. It's a big arcane archive, so you can, once you do a quest, you can kind of go here and just click on this button, and it'll teleport you all the way up to the top, so you can jump off with the dragon and fly around the zone. So in each zone in Dragonflight, you're going to get yourself a new different dragon type you can ride on. On the PTR, we just start with each one. So the one from this zone, the Azure span, which is the 3rd zone you get to, is this Highland Drake here, the blue Drake. You get that once you're done with the story. The 1st zone is this renewed Proto Drake, which is this guy. 2nd zone is Windborn Velocidrake, which is this guy. And the last zone is the Cliffside Wilder Drake, like this. The Drakes, they're all the same in terms of gameplay. There's no like different mechanics to each one. They just look different, so it's all just personal preference at that point. There's also different customization options for each of them, which I'll get to in a second. So they don't really matter. You just gain different ones. On the PTR here, we have them unlocked fully. And then finally, at max level, there's actually a talent tree. So you can see here, it enables dragon riding skills. Well, these are our skills, but there's actually more we can get at max level. Now, we haven't had a preview of that yet. But I imagine there's going to be ways to gain vigor faster. There's going to be ways to get more of these vigor points. There's going to be more skills, faster speeds, stuff like that. Now, besides being incredibly fast, I'll just show you how fast I can zip from here to, let's say, this flight point, right? It is so speedy. I get off, and look how fast I'm moving on this map here. This is quite far. At many different points in the campaign, you have quest points that are over like 1.1 thousand yards away from you, or meters, whatever distance system WoW uses. Those are very far distances that would normally take you a long time, but because of dragon riding, you can get to these places so incredibly fast. It's actually crazy how fast you move. Like, this distance doesn't look that far, but by running, and I don't want to do it, it would take me quite a while. You can see how slow I'm moving in comparison to how fast I was going on my Drake. So there are some very interesting and significant uses for these dragons. Now the other one, and this one is super fun, the other use for these drakes is dragon riding. Wait, dragon racing is what I meant to say. Alright, so here I am over at one of the first dragon racing points you'll find when you get into this zone in Alpha. So you can tell that they're here by the little hourglass icon on your minimap. When you're nearby, you can see them on your map as well. I'm kind of blocking it, but you can see it right there. And then there are these little guys here. These little bronze timekeepers with a flag over their head. In total, right now for this zone, there are quite a few. There are 6, I believe. There's one here, right here. There's one very close to it as well, kind of up here. There's one over here in Valdraken. Not Valdraken, sorry. In this volcano area here. There's one in the Arcane Archives. There's one up here by Three Falls Lookout. And there's one down here by Iskara. Each of them are fairly close to flight points, so you'll be able to get there fairly rapidly if you want to, say, fly to one of these. I believe the one for the Id Volcano is right here by Ronin's Shield. There's 2 right up here. This one is literally in the Arcane area. This one is right over here by this little outlook, and then this one is right up here by the falls. So there's tons of them that are quite close together that you're able to pretty easily get to, and these are so fun. In the future, there's been data mined like a currency that you'll be able to get. We know this because there's a crafting reagent that says you can be bought with this dragon riding currency. We don't know what this currency will do. I doubt it has anything to do with player power. Maybe you can buy some kind of crafting stuff to get maybe like gear, but I don't think that gear will be very powerful. This primarily so far, at least to me, has seemed to be just kind of this fun, casual thing to do. And dragon riding is so fun. So I'll pull it up. Dragon racing, sorry. Racing. So there's a bunch of achievements you can get. Each one has different times, and each course has 2 different sections. They have the advanced and the regular. So you can see here Azure Span Slalom, and then Azure Span Slalom Advanced. And each of them kind of has set times for you to get. Right? So if you get the fastest time, you use that time, you get a gold, and so on and so forth. Now, I imagine once this currency is added, obviously getting a better time will give you more of this currency, but for now, I can't really comment on that. There's also currently a bug where this is showing as bronze. I have gold for all the dragon races on Alpha currently. And there's tons other in other areas too, like Waking Shores, Ruby Life, Wild Preserve Slalom, the Ember Flows, Apex Canopy River Run, Ukuluktuk Coaster. Like, there's tons of different courses they have kind of planned, and they're so fun. We're going to do one here. So to start, all you do, talk to this bronze timekeeper. It tells you what abilities you're allowed, so we're not allowed to use Whirling Surge. We can only use Surge Forward and Skyward Ascent. And there's 2 courses. There's the beginner course and the advanced course. So we'll go through the beginner course together here. So you start here. There's not really a graphic on your screen for the countdown, but you can see it's up here. Then once it starts, we want to fly through these golden gates. And the way we do that is by obviously flying with our dragon, using our abilities, and hitting those little wind gates there. So those wind gates are quite important. They give you a large boost of speed. And pretty much when you're going, you want to stay in this blue flight for as long as possible so you can gain more vigor and use more of your spells to go faster, really. One really good tip that I can give for people once they get on the alpha or once this comes out in the actual thing always aim for those gates, the little like flight things, and always try to be in blue. Likewise, you want to use your mouse to like hold right click and look around to control where you're going. The other controls, like keyboard controls, do not work very well. I really wouldn't recommend them. You're going to end up getting stuck trying to turn. It's just way more fluid with your mouse. And the last one is that try to use the 2 button as much as you can instead of the 1. 2 does give you height, and you might think that 1, well, it just shoots you forward, might be a better kind of use of your vigor. Realistically, the 2 button gives you a longer speed burst and also allows you to kind of control the height. When you're going at max speed, this gains you height, gains you speed, and can kind of give a longer boost than just surge forward. So anyways, that was kind of the basic course. The basic courses aren't very hard, obviously, and there's not really obstacles or anything to them. They have tons of those wind gates to give you speed boosts. They're pretty easy and pretty fun. Now, the advanced courses, some of them are a little trickier. The slalom one, was really the hardest in my opinion. All the other ones took me maybe 1 or 2 tries, but the slalom course took me a few tries to get gold. But the advanced courses, a lot of them don't have the wind gates. Instead, they have little green blobs you fly into that give you a vigor charge instead of just giving that speed burst. And some of them also have obstacles, as well as having more gates. So we're going to try the advanced course for this one right here. Now, whenever you start one, obviously, you're going to restart your vigor, and the countdown's going to start. So 3, 2, 1. We're going to start with doing a nice flap right here and go right into the course. So you can see nothing really has changed yet. Use a little burst there. Everything's pretty much the same, and then we hit those little green orbs. So those green orbs are what give us that vigor to kind of enable us to fly further, right? So we'll try and hit another one here. So I don't have no vigor. Boom, I gain another one. I got one from the bar filling up, and then I got one from that orb. So you kind of just fly through. You want to cut as many corners as you can. It's just going to make you faster, obviously. Find a smooth line, collect all the green orbs you can, and just fly through. I missed one there, but it really doesn't matter. You can make some mistakes. Like I've accidentally landed before on the advanced courses, and I've still been able to get like the maximum score. So they're not meant to be like too insanely difficult, but they are really fun. I've gone through and I've spent hours. I stream this a lot too, where I'm just dragon riding, trying to beat my best score. It's so fun. In the future, they're going to add, or at least they plan on adding, multiplayer races to these, which I think is going to be like a blast. You know, grab your guildmates, go out and just kind of multiplayer dragon race around. See, I got gold. I actually almost beat. I was about second off for my best time. So that's the advanced courses. Nothing too difficult. Sometimes there's also these white bubbles that float up from the ground. Those will kind of slow you down and stop you. They're like a little obstacle, so you want to avoid that as much as you can. But that's really it for dragon riding. There's one more small aspect which I do want to touch on, which we're going to get to now. Alright, so the last thing I want to touch on in this video is something called the Rostrum of Transformation. You can see it right here. The one I'm at right now in the Azure span is located right here, really close to Theron's Watch. You just kind of go north and to the left a little bit. And this is where you customize your dragon. So see, I click on it, and it pulls up this kind of barbershop-esque window to customize this dragon. Now, I've already customized this guy a little bit. You get a bunch of different options, and you unlock way more, like by doing dragon riding, by doing a bunch of professions, dragon racing, story stuff. I've gotten stuff from quests. You can find stuff in treasures from rares. So there's tons of different areas where you can unlock these kind of customizations for your dragon. And it really just lets you just customize your dragon as you want. I can change its scale type to light, from light to heavy. I can change what horns it has, swept, short, curled down, stuff like that. Horn color, black, kind of a beige. The fin on its tail, boop, like that. You can change how its crest looks, its nose, chin. Like, there's just tons of options here for how you're trying to customize your dragon. And I don't even have them all. Now, oh wow, eye color. Oh, let's make it pink. So the thing with this, I have a few complaints about it. One, I had no idea where this was. I literally just flew around until I found it. So I think some way of marking the map could be useful. Likewise, when you're trying to look at your dragon, there's no way of kind of moving from the left to the right. So the tail is kind of hidden in darkness a little bit. And it also costs gold, which is weird. See? So changing one thing kind of costs me 12 gold, which I don't super agree with, but you know what? That one's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. But I really didn't have any clue this was here. There might have been a quest that I missed, but if there was, it wasn't the main story quest. Now, this is the 3rd zone, so there might be a Rostrum in the other 2 zones that they go over and like to tell you about it. But in this zone specifically, I didn't know where this was. Now, there's going to be a Rostrum for each dragon in each zone. As you can see, I can't really do the other dragons here. There's no way of really doing that anywhere. Also, I guess these buttons don't work. I never really used them before. So, Waking Shores will have the one for the Proto-Drake. On Highland Plains, we'll have the Windborn Velocidrake. Azure Span has this guy, the Highland Drake. And then Valdrakken has Cliffside Drake. Or, no, Thaldrazis, sorry. Valdrakken, the main city, will have one that can edit all 4 of them. So, don't worry about that. Once you get to the main city, you'll be able to edit your drakes as you wish. But again, I didn't really know this was here. It was kind of hidden, and it cost gold. It was a little weird. But that's kind of the last big thing with dragon riding. I think it's a really kind of robust system, right? Like, think about how many different combinations of dragon there is, right? There's 4 different drakes. There's tons more customization that I don't even have. Like, I think I got 4 things through the course of the story, and that's it. And I still have all these different options, and I'm not even max level. None of the kind of rep stuff is in. None of the dragon racing rewards are in. So there's tons of cool opportunity there. Now, I will say, although I do love dragon riding and dragon racing so much, I will say there's a few weird things. It seems a little inconsistent when you're trying to get at max speed about when you can or cannot hit that kind of super fast omega speed goal. Likewise, Vigor is a little slow to recharge on the ground. Now, that might just be an issue with me not having the full Dragon Talent Tree, which obviously I can't get yet, because really early on in the alpha, right? Like, this is still the first build. But we'll see how that ends up. Because once they're on the ground, they're kind of really slow and clunky, and it does take a little bit to be able to fly off again. So that's kind of an issue. But other than that, I really like it. I think it's super responsive, as long as you're not keyboard turning. I guess I can show you guys what the keyboard turning looks like. But you just want to hold your right click on your mouse to move. You want to use your mouse to move as much as possible, right? So here's me flying. Get some speed. This is me trying to keyboard turn. Doesn't really work too well, right? Just kind of spin. So you really want to be using your mouse. It's just way more reactive. But other than that, I mean, other than the few issues I mentioned, other than kind of not telling you where things are, you also don't know. You also don't find out about the races, and they're really poorly marked. I flew around kind of just looking for them based off of what the achievements were called, but hopefully that's something that's fixed in the final version. But overall, I'm really enjoying this feature. I think it's one of the best features that WoW has ever made. It is so fun, it's so customizable, and I see so much potential with it, especially in multiplayer races or time trials. This is so fun. I will be doing this so much once the game comes out, and so much once future alpha bids give us access to new zones. Next week we're getting the Drakthir starting zone, so I don't think there'll be new dragon races. But hopefully the week after that we could see a bunch of new ones. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if you want to see anything. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you're excited about this feature. I'm so excited. I'll be live whenever this video goes out. Maybe doing some dragon racing and maybe doing some looking at different zones with a shaman. So if you want to check that out, my Twitch link's in the description. Same with my Twitter. And I just want to thank you all, and have a good one.